afternoon, welcome back to Green Island Gardens. Today I want to show you one of my favourite plants. It's a beautiful shrub here, you can see it flowering, called Leptospermum scoparium, otherwise known as the New Zealand tea tree or the Manuka bush or Manuka tea bush. It has beautiful aromatic scented leaves which crushed you can tell it would make the most beautiful tea. These lovely flowers normally flower around midsummer's day, so I would say the end of June to July. But we've had such an abnormal spring this year that everything's really early, and it also has flowered particularly well. It makes an absolute picture, just trained up against this wall here. It tends to have a fairly upright growth habit, which lends itself to growing against a nice south-facing wall here. Its ideal conditions would be a moist but well-drained acidic soil in part sun or part shade or full sun, but they will actually withstand drought really well, which makes them suitable for Mediterranean gardens as well. They are very versatile. I've got several of them that I've grown as a hedge for many years, which I'm very fond of. There's lots of varieties. This one in particular is called Leptospermum red damask, and it's because these flowers are really double. Really bright red colour, and it does go on sporadically producing more flowers throughout the rest of the year, and I've been known to cut a few sprigs at Christmas even with the flowers on then. Leptospermum scoparium, the species, does come in various colours, and I was fortunate enough recently, this February, to visit New Zealand myself, and it was such a treat seeing these growing in the wild, although it wasn't the right time for them flowering. But we did go to Auckland Botanic Garden, where I saw what must have been the equivalent of a national collection of Leptospermum scoparium and their cultivars. And the range of colours was just stunning, right through from whites to pale pinks, creamy colours, pink flowers edged with red, all sorts of shades from white through to this dark red, in single flowers, double flowers, as I say, all sorts of varieties. There's even some dwarf varieties which are suitable for growing in pots if you've got a really small spot. They are meant to be fully hardy. I would say if I'm being brutally honest, they are the only plant that we have actually lost during 30 years we've been here at Green Island Gardens. We had a couple of winters that went down to -10 and -15 in 2010 and 11, and we did lose some of the plants then. And again, similarly, a couple of years ago, we were down to -8 and we lost our Leptospermum hedge, which I'll show you in a moment. We have replanted. But fortunately, the ones up against the house wall like this were protected enough, and so they remain totally unharmed. So it's definitely worth having a go with. They're not expensive to buy and they're relatively fast growing. As I say, you can clip them after they've flowered to keep them nice and bushy. And we prune this one just to keep it neat against the wall here so it doesn't come out and take up too much space. Similarly, same with the hedge, we can prune that after it's flowered. Just be careful and don't go back into the bare wood because it won't grow back from that. The honey that is made from these flowers is a very dense aromatic honey. We were fortunate enough to try it in New Zealand, and it really is very special. Tea that's made from the leaves it has good medicinal properties, antibacterial properties. It's very good for sore throats and digestive problems as well. So a really versatile plant. If you've got a south-facing wall, a nice sheltered spot, I really would recommend giving this one a go. And as an extra bonus, after the flowers have finished, it produces beautiful black seed heads, which persist right through the year, so they're even lovely through into the autumn and Christmas time as well. But lovely evergreen shrub. So we're in the seaside garden here, and you can see this is another Leptospermum that we're growing, just supported against this lovely south-facing wall. You can see the flowers on this one, they are double. This is called coral candy, and beware because a lot of nurseries do actually sell them mislabeled. So if you want to get a specific variety, try and buy it whilst it's in flower. As I say, this one is coral candy. It was actually sold to me as red damask, but you can see very clearly it's not the same as the one I showed you a few moments ago. nevertheless very pretty again. Even if you don't have a big enough garden or a suitable spot to put one of the upright Leptospermum scopariums in, this is a lovely dwarf variety. It's called Leptospermum scoparium nanum, meaning small, and kiwi is the cultivar name, and how appropriate because it comes from New Zealand. But it makes a little rounded evergreen bush, very slow growing, and in the summer covered with these pretty little single flowers. Which I think make a really attractive addition to a collection of pots. This is a different Leptospermum species. This is Leptospermum grandiflorum, and by the name you can tell the flowers are slightly larger. The leaves, the foliage are very different to the others. They're much more fleshy leaves and larger, and they have this sort of silvery sheen to them. It's really beautiful foliage plant. It has white flowers, and they flower much later than the scoparium cultivars. But again, a nice plant to grow against a nice warm wall or fence. So here you can see our hedge that we're growing, which just divides the entrance gravel garden from the nursery, and it also screens the ugly oil tank behind. As I said, sadly we did lose this hedge during 2021-2 winter. I think that was the one that went to -8. We've replanted it here, and these have literally been in here about this high. We planted them, and this is 2 years growth. Ultimately they will make a height of 2 meters, slightly more, and the same with the width, but they're a very slender growing shrub, so it's ideal habit for a hedge. What we did with these to prevent losing them, just the first couple of winters, if you've got a really hard frost predicted, then we just put some horticultural fleece or some plastic rabbit guards around the base of them, just to protect them from the coldest frosts. But hopefully another year, maybe 18 months, and the hedge will be doing its thing as it did previously for a good 10-15 years. And although it's sad we've lost it, it's fine. Replant it and we've got another nice new young healthy looking hedge. Thank you for watching our video again. Nice short one today for you, but please remember to like and subscribe. And remember, if you do want any of the plants that we show in our videos, we do offer mail order service as well.